Hey guys, welcome to Crew Connect Kit. My name's Sammy. I don't know about you, but quarantine, I don't know that I'll know how to socially interact after this. But I got a TikTok, so that's going for me. Anyways, below are some things that will help you connect with God deeper this week. Through some worship songs that we like, an article or another resource, and a journal prompt that goes along with the video above. Something that we're doing after this is through Zoom. We are connecting with one another, so please feel free to join in on that. It's right after the video. The link is gonna be below as well. Then after that, we have something fun and refreshing this week. We are meeting in parking lot P12 behind Roofs Field. Super excited for this. A worship night from the trunks of our cars. 6 feet apart though. So please join us. Hope you can make it for all you people who are still chilling in Cheney. But for now, our worship team, they must miss us. I know I miss them, but they have created something for us, a little treat. Let's take a look.
I was buried beneath my shame. Who could carry that kind of weight? It was my tomb till I met you. I was breathing but not alive. All my failures I tried to hide. It was my tomb till I met you. You called my name and I ran out of that grave. Out of the darkness into your glorious day. You called my name and I ran out of that grave. Out of the darkness into your glorious day. Now your mercy has saved my soul. Now your freedom is all that I know. The Almighty knew Jesus when I met you. When you called my name and I ran out of that grave. Out of the darkness into your glorious day. You called my name and I ran out of that grave. Out of the darkness into your glorious day. I needed rescue, my sin was heavy, but chains break at the weight of your glory. I needed shelter, I was an orphan, now you call me a citizen of heaven. When I was broken, you were my healing, now your love is the air that I'm breathing. I have a future, my eyes are open, 'cause when you called my name, I ran out of that grave. Out of the darkness into
Man, thanks so much, you guys, for that. Big shout out to the worship team. So now we're going to check into Reality Check with Josh and Michael, bringing us the truth on God, our rock.
Hey guys, thanks for coming to Reality Check. Glad that you're here with us. Michael, we're doing it. We're social distancing.
We're doing it.
Got our 6 feet. I'm rocking the hat because the haircut quarantine, like lack of haircut, it's real.
Oh yeah. As you can see, I'm a little shaggy up top too. But Kaylee actually faded my sides for me, so
She did good.
feeling a little fresh.
She did good.
Yeah.
Yeah, like I said, we're excited that you guys are here. Tonight we're talking about God, our rock, and we're going to be using Psalm 18 as like a launching point, and then a couple other passages that we've been looking at and studying. So, yeah, excited that you're here for it, and excited that God's given us His Word to learn and to tell us more about who He is. So, Michael, why don't you start us off by reading Psalm 18 verses 1 through 6?
Oh, for sure. Psalm 18, 1 through 6. I love you, O Lord, my strength. The Lord is my rock, my fortress, and my deliverer. My God is my rock in whom I take refuge. He is my shield and the horn of my salvation, my stronghold. I call to the Lord who is worthy of praise, and I am saved from my enemies. The cords of death entangle me, the torrents of destruction overwhelm me. The cords of the grave coiled around me, the snares of death confront me. In my distress, I called to the Lord. I cried to my God for help. From His temple, He heard my voice. My cry came before Him into His ears.
Good stuff.
Yeah, it's really good. I love Psalms and just how raw David always is. He's just straight up. He doesn't pull any punches. He's like, God, I have an issue with you. But also he's like, right afterwards, like, God, I love you. Like,
Yeah.
and I just love it because in these passages alone, like, there's so much talking about like battle metaphors and rocks and how like the Lord is our fortress and how pivotal that is in a battle.
Yeah.
I mean, you look at Roman culture and, you know, you have shields. You know, the Lord is my shield. They use it as both weapon and defense. And, you know, I think a lot of times when people talk about retreating to the fortress, they relate that to cowardice. There's a big difference between retreating to a safe place and being a coward.
Yeah, that's good. Yeah, like even when they talk about rock back then, like it was important to have the high ground, like important to have a solid rock to either protect you from enemies or like to give you the advantage. And so, yeah, I think when God says like He's our rock, like He's our fortress, that's significant.
Yeah, well, I mean, then you've got David and Goliath with the little pebble. I mean, you have...
This is probably a different kind of rock.
It's 100%, but like, I always think of David with the little pebble.
Yeah,
man.
but he's like, God's not a little pebble in this. He's like
No.
our rock that we can take refuge in.
Yeah.
We can take shelter. That's good.
Oh,
Yeah. When I think about rocks too, like I think the idea of like a rock as a foundation on which to build also comes to mind. Like even in Isaiah 28:16, which you can go back and look at later, it says like Jesus is our God is our cornerstone. Jesus is the cornerstone. And in the New Testament it talks about that multiple times, how the stone that was rejected has become the cornerstone. And so I think that like even as we think God is our rock, He's a foundation on which we can build. I think that also has some connotations for our life too.
Yeah. Well, and like we were talking earlier when we first originally read through Isaiah, you know, my dad has done construction most of my entire life, and, you know, everything with advice from life to, you know, how to live out my Christian life has been in building metaphors
Right.
because of my dad, you know, and, you know, one of the really popular ones is you need to make your foundation out of rock. If the one who builds his house on the rock will have a solid place to build, and it will be a solid house. If you don't, if you build it on the sand or somewhere else, like walls can be crooked, there's something wrong with it, like the foundation is not safe and it will crumble.
Yeah.
So if you don't have that foundation, the entire house building will collapse.
Yeah.
You know, and one small thing is off.
Yeah, it's so true. And like now more than ever, it feels like people are looking to different things to put their to be their foundation, whether it's like financial stability, or like I have a job, or like even school, like how are my grades doing. I think those are things we use as our foundation.
Yeah.
Where like our true foundation should be on God. He is the rock. He's our cornerstone that we can build on. So yeah, that's really good.
Yeah. He always provides when we need it the most.
Mm-hmm.
You know?
Yeah. So then for you, Michael, like what would you say this looks like on a daily for you, like a daily basis? How do we take what's here, like God is our rock, He's our fortress, and apply it to like living that out on a day-to-day?
I think for me personally, like it's going to look different for every person, I think. But for me, it's just like in my times of need, in the happy times, in the bad times, I'm either praising God or I'm being real with Him. And I'm still working on implementing that in day-to-day life. You know, my mom was always the person who would pray throughout the entire day, where something happens, oh Lord, like please help me with this, or Lord, thank you for this. Whereas I'm very set in my habits, where it's I pray in the morning, I pray at night, and so that's what I need. But yeah, just grounding myself in that, grounding myself in the Word, making sure the knowledge that I have of Him is straight from Him.
Yeah,
you know, not from anything else.
That's really good.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think for me, like, similarly, like just reminding myself about who God is. If I have a false belief about who God is, if I'm believing wrong things about Him and His character, like that He isn't good, that He isn't steady, that He isn't faithful, like when I believe those things and build on those things, it just makes my life more stressful. And I think that those aren't things that I can put my trust in. I can't build on those things. They're going to let me down. And so a shaky view of God, an unclear picture of who He is and what He's done, that is a shaky foundation. It's going to lead to a shaky life. You
Absolutely.
know? Shaky days.
Especially in this time of the pandemic and quarantine, like this is when you kind of find out and, you know, set your priorities straight.
Yeah.
Like, you know, it's funny because I have people who, you know, don't follow Christ and they ask me like, Michael, how are you doing? I was like, actually, I'm chilling right now. Like, I know I've went from being crazy busy, like absolutely beyond busy, to absolutely nothing.
Yeah. And
I'm like, I mean, God will provide, and He has thus far. Like everything that's been needed has come together. And, you know, it's just the way you look at it and how, you know, what you put your faith in.
Yeah.
So.
That's good. Yeah, God is constant. He's a rock that cannot be moved. He's the cornerstone that we can build on. But I think then it's up to us to like believe that and then put faith and action to it. You know,
you have to be the one who enters the fortress.
Yeah, that's good, to take refuge behind that rock. That's awesome.
You have to make that as choice.
Yeah, I love that. Good stuff in Psalm 18, Isaiah. Encourage you guys to look at this passage more in depth. Psalm 18, there's a ton in there. Things that we've already talked about. God, our refuge, our shield, like our strength. It's all in there. And so one thing that could be cool this week is to go through that and just make note of all the things that are true about who God is. Use those things as like truths to hold on to, rocks to, or like foundation, sturdiness to like to put our hat on, to put our trust in. So we'd love for you guys to do that this week. And thanks again for joining us. Reality Check. Week number 6, I think it is.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah,
I don't know. They're all blending together right now.
They're all together. But we're glad you're here. Watch the ones from before. And again, thanks, guys, for joining us. Have a good one.
Thanks so much, you guys. Thanks, Josh and Michael. Just such a good reminder that God is not a pebble. Thank you, Michael, for that. But He's not like the walls that we ourselves build up, but that He's got our rock. He's a foundation that can be built upon. I really love that. After this, click the Zoom link below and connect with some peeps. And after that, go to parking lot P12 for some worship 6 feet apart in our car trunks. For now, see you guys next week.